Tonight, swearing in members of the U.S. Senate.
Donald John Trump thus warrants impeachment and trial.
Prepare to switch roles as jurors in the upcoming impeachment trial. This as leaders settle their showdown over new Senate rules under a new Democratic majority. Plus, stormy weather, dangerous systems from the Midwest to the Deep South, bringing snow, ice, and even tornadoes. And
there it is.
A popular faith-based film franchise begins filming this month. What the writer says moviegoers can look forward to. All this and more tonight on Faith Nation. The ball now officially in the Senate's court. Good evening and welcome to Faith Nation. I'm John Jessup.
And I'm Jenna Bratter. Thanks for joining us. Well, senators were sworn in today as jurors in the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump. The question tonight, will they convict him? That's right. He's charged with incitement of insurrection for comments he made during a rally just before some of his supporters stormed the Capitol. For more on what to expect in the upcoming trial, we now turn to CBN News Capitol Hill correspondent Abigail Robertson. Abigail, now that the Senate has the article of impeachment, how will the process play out?
Well, as you said, the senators were sworn in this afternoon, but the trial will not actually begin until February 8th. Now, every Senate Democrat and 17 Republicans would need to vote to convict President Trump in order to permanently bar him from ever running for federal office again. Now, President Joe Biden, a former senator, told CNN yesterday he thinks that this is unlikely, but he added that he believes the trial has to happen. Now, there are also quite a few Republicans like Senator Tom Cotton who argue that it is unconstitutional to proceed with an impeachment for a president that has already left office. Take a look.
This is beyond the constitutional authority of the Senate to conduct a trial to convict and remove from office a man who left office last week.
Now, legal expert Alan Dershowitz agrees with Senator Cotton and warns that this would set a bad precedent. Take a look.
We'll see the Constitution weaponized now that anytime a president is disliked and is voted out of office, we're going to see his opponents move for impeachment. It's wrong when the Democrats do it. It will be wrong when the Republicans do it.
And this will mark the first time in history that a president a Senate impeachment trial will take place after a president has already left the White House.
And President Trump becoming the first president to be impeached twice. Abigail, in the midst of all this impeachment talk, lawmakers are also trying to pass the next coronavirus stimulus package. When might we see that happen?
Well, Senator Bernie Sanders, who is now the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, said that he believes Democrats are going to pursue this through the budget reconciliation process. This would expedite it because through that process, the Senate would only need a simple majority. So if they had 50 Democrat senators vote for this, plus a tie-breaking vote from Vice President Harris, they could pass this bill with no support needed from Republicans. But even if they go this expedited route, it could still be weeks until this is on the Senate floor, just with the procedures that have to go through. John, Jenna.
All right, Abigail Robertson, thank you very much. And here now for more, Stephen Moore with the Heritage Foundation. Stephen, it's good to have you this evening. What do you think? What do you anticipate in this next COVID stimulus bill?
Well, you know, the president has called for $1.9 trillion, Jenna, and that is on top of the $900 billion that we just spent, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I don't think this is necessary. I think that we are going to bankrupt this country if we keep spending trillions and trillions of dollars that we don't have, that's not paid for, that has to be borrowed and printed. And, you know, in that bill, you've got all sorts of outrages, like almost $400 billion for a blue state bailout. You have 2/3 of unemployed workers would be paid more for staying unemployed than going back on a job. You have all sorts of other extraneous, the $15 hour minimum wage, and when businesses get back on their feet, you know, they're going to get hammered with a $15 an hour minimum wage for restaurants and stores. That's going to be a real hardship. So I think it's going to be a battle royale. I don't anticipate virtually any Republicans voting for it. And, you know, the ultimate form of stimulus for the economy Jenna, is to get the vaccine out there. It's the one idea I like about from Joe Biden is 100 million vaccines in 100 days.
Yeah. Stephen, on the topic of impeachment, there's debate whether it'll be fair or even constitutional. So why do you believe Mitch McConnell is going along with it? And does that open the door for Republicans to move to convict?
I can't imagine any Republican voting for conviction. I just can't. I mean, maybe Mitt Romney, who's not, a marginal Republican at this point, but I just don't see it happening. And it really is tearing the country apart. So much for unity, right, John? I mean, just a week ago, Joe Biden was talking about how we got to unify the country. This is the worst way to unify the country. You'll talk to, I'm not a legal scholar, but I've talked to many of them. They almost unanimously agree that even though Trump's behavior was indefensible on January 6th, that this does not reach the bar of being an impeachable offense. So I hope that the Congress doesn't go through with this. And I would call on Joe Biden, if you really want unity, tell the Democrats in Congress to stop this nonsense.
Stephen, you are an economic expert, an economist. President Biden so far, we've seen 30-plus executive orders in just the first week of his presidency. Are there any concerns you have when it comes to economic growth and what we've seen in these executive orders?
Well, I sure do. Jenna, that's almost a trick question because last night I read through the executive orders and, I was aghast. And even a lot of my Democratic friends are aghast at how left-wing this administration is shooting right out of the gate with putting America back in one of the worst treaties in American history, the Paris Climate Accord. Everyone's upset about the canceling of the Keystone XL pipeline. That's 10,000 jobs that have been eliminated because of that. And we need those pipelines to get the electric power to people around the country that need it and around the world. There are other, not finishing building the wall, when it's 75% complete doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm very pro-immigration, but we need to have border security. So I think there's a lot of things. And, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the re-regulation. Do you remember, right, Jenna, when Donald Trump said that for every new regulation under his administration, he would repeal 2 of them? And we had a big deregulation that had a very positive effect on the economy, got government off the back of business. Biden has reversed that. He's reversed that.
Stephen, we are out of time. Stephen Moore with the Heritage Foundation. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks, Stephen. Well, in nearly every place in the nation's capital, the majority rules. The lone holdout is the U.S. Senate, which was created to be a slower, more deliberative body.
That's right, Jenna. The Senate filibuster is a procedural tool that forces the 100-member upper chamber to get 60 votes before moving ahead on certain issues. CBN's Paul Strand explains the Democratic drive to wipe it out and why others want to keep it in place.
In a Senate split 51 to 50, one of the only ways the Democrats can pass extremely controversial laws would be to abolish the filibuster, which gives the minority its only way to block those changes.
If the filibuster goes away, if in a tied Senate, the Democratic Party is able to ram through a radical agenda that is out of sync with the American people, without deliberation, without debate.
At a Heritage Foundation webinar, Binion discussed what might possibly pass only if the filibuster goes away.
Increased federal gun control legislation is on President Biden's agenda, and it definitely falls into the category of legislation that may enjoy 51 votes, but could not overcome a filibuster or extended debate.
Same goes for amnesty for the millions of illegal immigrants in the U.S. and a hot-button issue like climate control.
Climate change legislation enjoys unanimous support on the left, but it enjoys unanimous opposition on the right.
Since the filibuster's been around for a couple of centuries, Democrats in the past, including the new majority leader, defended it as sacred.
Senator Schumer asked his colleagues to, quote, protect the sacred checks and balances at the core of the republic.
Schumer realized this week he doesn't have the votes to kill the filibuster right now, but won't rule out trying to eliminate it in the future. He's hinted at it, much like the last Democrat majority leader, Senator Harry Reid. Here's Schumer from August.
We have a moral imperative, an imperative to the people of America to get a whole lot done if we get the majority, which God willing we will, and keep it in the House and Biden becomes president. And nothing is off the table. we will do what it takes to get this done.
If that includes wiping out the filibuster and passing red-hot laws by a vote of 51 to 50, Binion fears what it will do to the nation.
I think it will further divide us, further inflame our country, and I think the policy outcome could be devastating.
Paul Strand, CBN News, Washington.
Thank you, Paul. Well, at least 2 CEOs are facing blowback for their support of former President Trump. Goya's Robert Unanue is being censored by his company, according to the New York Post. Specifically, he's in trouble for questioning the election results and for comments following the Capitol riots. Mike Lindell, the creator of MyPillow, is facing backlash too. His company's products are being pulled from several retailers because of his support of Trump. He's also been banned by Twitter. The social media company saying they pulled the plug on the account for the repeated violations of their civic integrity policy. Lindell has been a vocal backer of President Trump for many years and has insisted the presidential election was rigged.
Well, both some positive and not so good news on the coronavirus front. The good news is the number of hospitalizations and deaths in the United States are down following a post-holiday surge. But that's tempered against 2 COVID mutations that may cause those numbers to spike again. The variant first detected in the United Kingdom has now been picked up in more than half of the country and is expected to be the dominant strain here by March. This variant makes the virus much easier to contract, and it may even be deadlier than previous strains we've been dealing with for the last year.
According to the estimates of the people in the UK, about twice as transmissible and maybe even increase in its virulence or its ability to cause serious disease.
Another variant first detected in South Africa is perhaps more concerning. The coronavirus vaccines currently on the market aren't as effective against it. Instead of an efficacy of 94 or 95%, the vaccines are only about 70 to 85% effective against the South African mutation. Moderna is working with the United States government to develop a new vaccine that will protect against this mutation, but that will take some time. It's only in phase 1 clinical trials right now. Well, calling the pros, a South Carolina Chick-fil-A is receiving heaps of praise after the restaurant manager helped direct gridlock traffic at a drive-through COVID vaccine. The mayor of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, says no one has mastered the drive-through quite like Chick-fil-A, so he called in a favor to the restaurant. He got the manager to come and direct traffic at the vaccine site, and Chick-fil-A delivered. With the restaurant's help, vaccine wait times dropped from 1 hour to 15 minutes.
It's great to see on a pretty wintry day, it looks like there. Well, Las Vegas schools will reopen for some students after 18 students killed themselves during the COVID lockdown. According to the New York Times, the surge in student suicides during the final 9 months of 2020 has led Clark County school officials to return some elementary students for in-person learning. CBN News has reported on the impact lockdowns have had on adults and children's mental health, with some students feeling isolated as they attend virtual classes. The youngest student reportedly to kill themselves in Las Vegas was 9 years old. And coming up, 33 children rescued from human trafficking in a major sting involving more than a dozen law enforcement agencies across the nation.
Hey, if you're tired and exhausted all day, you can't think clearly, and you really just need a cup or even a pot of coffee to get through your day, then join me, Dr. Josh Axe, for this new series where I'm going to teach you how to transform your diet and use essential oils and supplements to get a better night's sleep.
Wake up to your best life. Call 1-800-700-7000 to get your free DVD or booklet of Protect Your Sleep today.
It's about the competition.
I kind of put that pressure on myself, and I think people had expectations.
It's about overcoming.
We use this phrase all the time, keep chopping, keep practicing hard.
It's about going the distance.
I think as a father, it's my job, to lead, just be the best husband and father I can be.
Watch Going the Distance with Sean Brown Saturday night at 7:30 on the CBN News Channel.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Well, welcome back. The FBI says a trafficking sting in Los Angeles has rescued 33 missing children. The operation focused especially on children suspected of being sexually exploited or trafficked. According to the FBI, 8 of the children it rescued were being sexually exploited at the time of recovery, while others had been exploited in the past.
Shared Hope is a faith-based anti-trafficking organization that focuses on prevention and restoration. Right now, it's in the midst of a 30-day prayer campaign. Organization president and former Congresswoman Linda Smith joins us now to discuss. Linda, welcome. Good to have you. The FBI, it's great to have you. The FBI just announced this trafficking sting in Los Angeles. How important are these kinds of efforts as we seek to end this kind of human trafficking, especially for children?
They're really, really important because these are organizational efforts with the FBI and local task forces and local law enforcement. And as that happens, more and more of the law enforcement understand. Notice the title. Notice the beautiful title, Operation Angel. Well, the first one that I dealt with, the first operation, was called Precious Cargo. And that was 2004. Now, through these operations, police are really becoming aware all over the United States. Shared Hope develops training and developed training off of some of these operations. I think the important thing is, though, if society understands this issue, we're going to take care of it. And I think I'm going to say something negative, but not about the police here. It is that you don't notice there were buyers in these operations arrested. Now, they might be, but you often find that they call the trafficker the seller, and then they identify the child, but they don't identify that there were men buying, driving a market. So this Sunday, we're calling out people all over the nation, so far thousands, to pray that people's eyes will be opened to if there weren't a buyer, there wouldn't be a child victimized and sold.
Such a great point and something that we definitely all can be praying for. Linda, can you tell us a little bit about the numbers and what you've seen in the last year and how the pandemic has affected human trafficking?
Shared Hope has literally moved a lot of our restoration efforts to stabilizing these young women and sometimes men who barely come out of trafficking, and we're building their lives and helping them to build lives. And because they had minimum wage jobs, it just wiped them out. So you see that this pandemic has hurt them, and we have to shift our restoration. Greater, though, this has been very disturbing to see groups like Pornhub give free days to people so they had recreation. And Pornhub is just a cesspool of selling individuals, and we find hundreds and thousands of children in that environment. And so it has had its ups and downs. We're just simply saying, if the culture understood this was the selling of very vulnerable people and children, they would understand it's not an adult recreation. And we'd be like 31 states have already said any child in commercial sex is a sex traffic victim, and you just don't arrest them. Now, fortunately, 19 states still stigmatize the child, and in the law, they call them a prostitute and still can arrest them for prostitution. So we've got a cultural issue going on, and we know that prayer is the answer. So we've been praying all month, and I've seen awesome things happen, and we're all coming together this Sunday, and we're going to have 2 different times. You can look online, and we're going to come together, and you'll see me with a survivor that's walked with me to understand this horrible issue now for several years. And she and I are going to pray together and call on you to be with us to change the culture and the hearts of people.
All right.
Well, Linda, it is a great cause, and we appreciate you joining us tonight at Shared Hope and the Sunday National Day of Prayer. Linda Smith, thank you so much.
Thanks, Linda. Still ahead, some wild winter weather brings at least one death and a lot of destruction across 30 states.
Daddy?
Yeah, buddy.
How many nickels are in a dollar?
There are 20 nickels in a dollar.
How do birds fly? Does milk really make my bones stronger?
Yeah.
Daddy, when we die, will we go to heaven?
Do you have the answer to life's biggest question? Call the 700 Club. We'll help you find answers to the important questions life brings your way.
Watch breaking news, in-depth exclusive stories and programs from health to entertainment you won't find anywhere else. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. Enjoy credible news reporting from around the world. Discover inspiring programs and stories of hope, all in one place from a Christian perspective. The CBN News Channel, a perspective you can trust. To watch the CBN News Channel, download the app or visit cbnnewschannel.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. David Perlmutter, board-certified neurologist and #1 New York Times bestselling author. Wouldn't it be great to boost your energy, eliminate brain fog, and even reverse brain disease? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you how, along with some of the world's most well-respected brain experts in this DVD, Protect Your Brain.
Get Protect Your Brain, a free DVD only from the Christian Broadcasting Network, featuring experts on the cutting edge of neuroscience and brain health.
No matter how many times you've failed in the past, you really can do this.
In Protect Your Brain, you'll discover simple strategies to keep your brain young and healthy. Improve your memory. Discover the gut-brain connection. In Protect Your Brain, get your free copy at cbn.com or call 1-800-700-7000.
If you want to improve the quality of your life, get the DVD Protect Your Brain and get it today.
Welcome back. Well, severe weather is pounding parts of the U.S. We've here in D.C. seen some snow, some slush. And in more than 30 states, 3 huge storms have caused major problems.
From California to Massachusetts, states are on winter weather alerts. Mark Martin joins us now with more. Mark, in case some people had forgotten because of the mild temperatures, it's a good reminder we're still in the middle of winter.
That is so true, John. John and Jenna, from a tornado to snow to whiteout conditions, Old Man Winter made its presence known. Take a look at the damage left by a winter tornado in Fultondale, Alabama. A car tossed by the wind into a tree, homes reduced to rubble. Officials say the storm killed a teenager huddling in his basement when the tornado blew a tree onto their home and it collapsed. Officials report more than 24 injuries north of Birmingham as the twister made a 10-mile destructive path. Then there's the snow. On Monday, a winter storm brought a rare snowfall to the normally hot Phoenix, Arizona. Residents even heard thunder along with seeing the snow. Strong winds knocked over trees. The same storm system also carried heavy snow to the mountains of northern Arizona. In California, the Cajon Pass experienced a lot of snow Monday. It became a winter wonderland, but looks can be deceiving.
It is a beautiful drive. I mean, with the sun, it's absolutely glorious.
Some aggressive people, making quick moves, spinning out, but I think if you just maintain your speed and drive slow and be cautious, it's an easy, nice, pleasant drive.
The heavy snow also led the California Highway Patrol to close the 5 freeway through the Grapevine area. The National Weather Service reports some California mountain areas could experience up to a foot of snow. And snow also caused many travel problems in the Chicago area. And in Iowa and Nebraska, drivers dealt with a lot of spinouts and car accidents. Now, going forward, the snowstorm in the Chicago area reportedly is now heading east, where it could cause even more issues. Weather Bell Chief Forecaster Joe Bastardi tells CBN News that Virginia Beach, which rarely sees snow, may see it tomorrow night, and much of northern North Carolina will experience a winter storm. A lot going on weather-wise. John and Jenna.
Yeah, no kidding. And these storms not discriminating. All right, Mark Martin, thank you. Still ahead, in a year of uncertainty, this film producer is reminding everyone God's not dead, nor is the famed God's Not Dead film franchise. Stay with us.
I am Regent's first ROTC graduate student.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm Ephraim Graham. Welcome to Studio 5.
Get on it.
All that's new and now in the world of uplifting entertainment with celebrity interviews.
There's a higher contribution that we'll make.
Musical performances.
I'll give you my best praise.
Plus movie and TV news.
See it and be uplifted.
On Studio 5. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern at cbn.com/Studio 5.
How'd you like to get a redo on your health, on your body, on your arteries, so you could have the energy you had 20 years ago? The great news is you can. I'm Dr. Mike Roizen, chair of the Wellness Institute at the Cleveland Clinic. I've written 4 New York Times bestsellers. But even better than having to read all that, you can listen to this DVD and watch it. Protect your heart? Yes, you can. Here's how.
Go to cbn.com or call 1-800-700-7000 for your free copy of Protect Your Heart. Let the medical experts show you their new discoveries on how to avoid heart disease and even reverse it. Easy steps to uncover the hidden dangers in your medicine cabinet, reduce stress, and get a complete do-over for your health. Call 1-800-700-7000. That's 1-800-700-7000. Or go to cbn.com to claim your free copy of Protect Your Heart.
And finally tonight, the 4th installment of the Christian production house PureFlix's most successful movie franchise begins filming this month in Oklahoma.
In an Instagram video, producer David A.R. White said the film will be called God's Not Dead, We the People.
I don't want anyone to get talked out of believing in him just because his professor thinks they should.
Mr. Wheaton, are you ready?
We're going to put God on trial.
White says the movie is inspired by American family classics like It's a Wonderful Life and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Some great flicks. While the release date hasn't yet been set, White says they're bringing cast members back from previous movies and can't wait to start filming.
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces there. We'll look forward to that.
Indeed.
Well, that is going to do it for Faith Nation tonight.
We hope you have a great night, and thanks so much for watching.